What's up guys, Mane here. In the last video I talked about my comeback at my old job here at Suzuki as a car salesman, and prior to that I was talking about how awesome riding a Supermoto is and why you should have one. Now in this video I'll be combining Suzuki and Supermoto, and we will be talking about the OG factory built Supermoto bike, and that is the Suzuki DRZ400SM, and 3 reasons why it's still a relevant choice today. Now before I start talking about the bike, the DRZ, and what gives me the reason to talk about that bike, here's a quick story of how I got mine. Back in 2017, I acquired a European version 2007 Suzuki DRZ400SM from a friend I made at a motorcycle training camp. Now, take note, the DRZ was and still up to this day not sold locally where I am from. Mine was a gray market unit with some questionable parts installed and a really bad CDI. But the price was too good to back down, so, I just had to take it. Now, with the help of the internet, I was able to get the correct parts and bring it back to how it's supposed to be. And I had it for a period of 7 months, in which 6 of those were spent most of the time fixing, waiting for parts, and testing those new parts as well. Now, a good few weeks of actually enjoying it, was noted prior to selling it though. Alrighty, so what makes the DRZ400 Supermoto still a relevant choice today? So, reason number 1, well, the DRZ is a factory-built Supermoto by Suzuki. It's powered by a liquid-cooled 400cc 4-stroke single producing 34 horsepower and 35 Nm of torque. It has a 5-speed manual transmission, fully adjustable suspension front and rear, which is very good actually, 17s front and rear rolling on super sticky street rubber, and the weight is roughly at around 150 kilograms wet. Now, in terms of general world design, it is based on the proven, capable, and very reliable DRZ400S Dual Sport Enduro, which came out in 2000. The DRZ400 may not be that impressive in today's standards in terms of numbers, but it has a huge following. Throughout the years, it has made a lot of fans and hardcore users. So which brings us to reason number 2, and that is the community. In today's world, where everything is uber high-tech, mega powerful, and very reliant on computers, especially when it comes to tuning, it is very refreshing to see something that from an era where function and reliability was, the go-to. Being a motorcycle from that time when everyone was out on a quest to make things faster, a little bit better, all on their own, and also while working on their own bikes, the DRZ had a big community of hardcore owners armed with 20 plus years. Let that sink in. 20 plus years of technical know-how at your fingertips. There are forums out there that are dedicated to the DRZ. Plus, the aftermarket and spare parts for these bikes are, everywhere. As I was fixing my DRZ back then, it was, 6 months, I learned that finding parts for a DRZ online is pretty easy. From brand new replacement parts to salvage parts from broken units, the DRZ online community is there to help you out. Now, third reason is the DRZ400SM itself, and what it has to give in terms of rider enjoyment. It feels surprisingly faster, as indicated on the paper. It's somewhat very deceiving. It's powerful enough to keep up with bigger bikes like a 650 or 600cc Super Sport, yet remain manageable even for a newbie rider. Despite being a bit top heavy, it does handle really well, especially in tight situations like here in where I live, where traffic is everywhere, and the DRZ performed really well in the types of traffic that we have here. At the same time, it was comfortable as a daily commuter, and on the go it feels really light, well suspended, and using it on unpaved roads was just as fun as riding it on the streets. Now, and as for maintenance, even a guy like me, although I've been riding motorcycles for a really long time, I rarely wrench on my bikes. But with the case of the DRZ and the tons of information found on the internet, wrenching and fixing that bike was an easy thing for me to do. Now, the only problem that I have with the DRZ in general is the fact that Suzuki themselves do not sell that model here where I live. As a salesman and as a would-be buyer, I see a lost opportunity for the brand to make a bigger following here. Yes, Suzuki sells their bigger bikes like the GSXR, the Katanas, the V-Stroms, and blah blah blah. But not everyone wants those because they're too powerful. And most of the riders here want a fun, capable, useful, yet reasonably priced motorcycle, and that's where the DRZ is supposed to come in. Well, who knows? Maybe in the future Suzuki would bring the DRZ here. Anyway, that's it for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you dig it. Subscribe to my channel if you genuinely like my style, and as always, see you next time. Bye.